Big Audio Dynamite, E equals MC squared. Alright, let's play all the different sections of the song here, and after that I'll go back through everything, guide you through it, tell you exactly what I'm doing, give you a little more explanation there. And before we get into the song now, pretty please help out the channel, hit that subscription button. I come out with tons of videos, so you don't want to miss out on that. Alright, let's get on into this. E equals MC squared by Big Audio Dynamite. Alright, we get this main guitar riff that happens, and it's pretty cool. It's just picking through this similar thing and just kind of lands on a different note each time, and it just kind of cycles back through. And okay, so we'll start it here at the 5th fret of the G. So we'll hit that, and we'll drop down to the B. We go 3, 5, 3 on the B, and then we're going to come back to that 5G and hit it a couple times. Okay, and then we'll just hold that 5 on the G for a bit, and the second time around everything stays the same except that last 5 turns into a 3 on the B. Okay, so instead of hitting the 2 5s on the G at the end, we're hitting one of those 5s coming back to 3 on the B. Alright, next section. Everything stays exactly the same. The very last note is changed. Okay, and then we'll land on 5 on the B at the very end. Right, and now we're going to kind of cycle our way back the way we came. Okay, so we'll just do the same thing, but just go back to that 3 on the B. Okay, so like we're going up, coming back, and eventually we'll just come right back to that 5 on the G. Alright, and then it just starts all over. Alright, so it's this pretty cool, just repeating thing with just slight differences at the end. Alright, let's just do it up to speed now so you can just hear exactly how it goes. We get these synth chords, synth strings happening in the background here. And there's some pretty interesting, cool sounding chords. It's going to start with just a C, and the way you want to strum this is kind of 2 strums per measure, right? And they're just real deliberate, you know, as if you were pressing the keys on the synth. Okay, so just a couple strums. Each beat, or every other beat there. So it's this version of the C where you really want to hit this high G under it, but you also want this bass note with it. Okay, so we're just going to kind of bar the 3 here from the A string down, and then just hit the 5s on the D, G, and B. Okay, and like I said, we're doing it like this instead of like this because we just really want this high G with it. Alright, and that's about how you want to do each strum. Okay, so 2 strums per measure basically. Just do 2 measures worth of it. Alright, and from there, we're going to do a G minor 7, and you know there are various ways you can do this, but specifically you want, you know, the G bass note in there, and you want to get this F note in here also. Okay, it's not good enough to just have the F right there, that kind of mid F. You really want this high F with it too. All right, and this is strummed the same way. Basically, we're just barring the 3rd fret. We're going to do the 5 on the A. 3 is part of the bar on the D, 3 on the G. And like I said, bring the pinky over and get this 6 on the B. And then we can just have the 3 on the high E barred. Okay. Alright, I'm going to strum it the same way for the same amount of strums. Alright, and then from there we'll move on to C6 voicing. And we could do that this way. Essentially, it's just like we're making an A minor chord here, but we want to take the pinky and add that C bass note to make it a C6. Alright, so 3 on the A, 2 on the D, 2 on the G, 1 on the B, and then hit the high E open. Alright, and we'll strum that just like we did the others. Alright, and then we'll just come back to the G minor 7 for a couple measures, just like we did before. Alright, and then that whole process will repeat. The C to G minor 7, C6 to G minor 7. Alright, you just cruise through that for most of the song. There's a couple spots where it kind of shuffles a little bit, but I'll get to that. So let's just do these chords up to tempo now. Now we can get into these synth horns, those little interlude sections that have them, little instrumental interludes. Pretty cool little things there. If you want to, interpret it for guitar, it'd be something like this. All right, and just a special note here. When I was talking about the chords, a time or two kind of shift. It's basically during these sections where we would just play those first 2 chords that happened, the C and the G minor 7. And then, the horn section would stop and it'd get back into a verse. And essentially, when we get back into the verse, we just repeat or restart our chord progression. So it's kind of like we just cut those last 2 chords off for a few of these horn sections. The middle horn section's a little different, and I'll get to that after this. All right, so it would just be a couple measures of that C, and then a couple measures of that G minor 7, and over the top of it, we have these horn sections. So the first bit, we're going to do it like this, where we slide up to 9 on the G, hit the 8 on the B. Okay, hold that 8 for a moment, and then we hit 10 B, 8 on the high E. All right, and we repeat that little riff twice. Okay, from there, next bit, we do slide up to 10 on the G, hit the 11 B, hold it a moment, and then we do 10 B, 8 B. Right, and we repeat that whole thing twice. Alright, in the second synth horn section that happens, this happens about the second time we do it, and it happens at the very end of the song too, where it's kind of an extended version. Alright, and for this version, that full chord progression happens. That C, G minor 7, C6 to G minor 7, where any other time we get to the horn section, it's just those first 2 chords. Alright, so just a special note, the first 2 little riffs are exactly the ones that we did before, okay? And each one we do twice, but then we do a couple of these new riffs here, and they're just kind of the same vibe, same style. It's just a few different spots. Okay, so the third spot that we're going to in this extended version, we're going to slide up to 10 on the D, hit the 9 G, and All right, then we hit 10G, 8B. All right, and we do that twice. All right, and the last one we do, slide up to 12D, 10G, and then we do 12G, 10B. Do that twice. All right, so extended version that happens at the second time and at the very end of the song. Let's try it all the way up tempo now. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.